Many of us face their phobias every single day.
Beating our fears can be a daunting challenge, but here to tell us how we can try at least to combat our phobias, clinical psychologist and co-director of the Sydney Phobia Clinic, Corrie Ackland. Corrie, good morning to you.
Good morning, thanks for having me on.
Tell us, what are the most common phobias that people come to you for help for?
Yeah, so the common ones that we see are the animal ones, so spiders, snakes, dogs, and the situational ones, so fear of heights and flying, needles as well.
So what then can sufferers do to combat those fears? Where do they start?
So there's a number of things that people can do right from their home. So, I mean, the most important thing is not to avoid. Avoidance is probably the most potent maintainer of a lot of these fears. So start getting back into those things that might be a little bit scary, but doing it gradually. Being aware of our thoughts, challenging any unhelpful thoughts, and of course breathing through that anxiety if there is some significant symptoms coming up.
Now, I absolutely loathe snakes, like with every ounce of my being. My son loves them, and we're going to go to a reptile park, of course, after we're done here this morning.
That's a great exposure for you.
If I came to you at your clinic, what would you tell me to do?
So, I mean, we do
Apart
it...
from toughen up.
We never say that because we understand that these things, they are really serious and they feel really, really dangerous. So it's a very real experience for people. We at Sydney Phobia Clinic, we offer a manualised program. We start with teaching a lot of skills for that situation before you head right into it. So physical management strategies, cognitive strategies, and then we are, trying to ease you into these kinds of situations, and the reptile park would be a good one.
Okay.
It is difficult though when you said trying not to avoid them, so you're obviously not coming into snakes hopefully in everyday life. What about creepy crawlies like spiders? What would be the advice?
Yeah, I mean, it's the same sort of thing. There's a lot of avoidance that tends to maintain that as a concern for people. People that might not hang up their washing outside or might not go out after dark where they can't see things, avoiding areas where they've seen spiders before. It's always about trying to get on with your life as normally as possible, and of course if it's too difficult to do that, that's where you come and see someone like me.
You use virtual reality in your clinic to help people overcome their fears. How does that work?
Yeah, virtual reality is a really exciting thing that we're bringing into this space. So the number one treatment for these kinds of things is cognitive behavioural therapy, and within that, as I said, exposure is so important. It's not always possible though, like you mentioned, we don't always come across snakes or those sorts of things, but virtual reality makes that possible for us.
So my fear is, I'm claustrophobic, so low ceilings, small spaces. So in this instance, you'd give me a virtual reality example of a small space and put me in it?
That's right. And virtual reality gives us the opportunity to make these things a little bit more palatable, I guess. So we can start with a slightly smaller room, and then we can make that smaller and smaller as it goes along. So making these things more
covered after we're done this morning. Bad idea.
Well, we don't want to induce trauma here. It's all about making sure that we can do our normal life. So not going to too much extremes. You want to be able to go to work, have relationships, enjoy things with our family. That's important, isn't it? So we want to be able to do those things.
What's the weirdest phobia someone's ever come to you with?
We don't really get too many of the weird ones, actually. We were expecting them, so we've got a lot of virtual reality around blood phobias and things like that. Vomit phobia, which is actually relatively common, but we haven't seen it through. We usually get, the animal one.
Flying is obviously a very common one. What would you say to people out there? Because for them to get on a plane is just a no-go zone. So what would you say to people who are afraid of flying?
It is the same sort of thing. Don't avoid those things. It's about being able to identify your thoughts whenever flying, comes on your radar, so to speak. So if you see planes in the sky and that's something that is giving you anxiety, it's about managing it at that point and then working your way up to smaller flights and then larger flights.
All right, it's good advice, Corrie. We appreciate your insight.
Thank you so much for having me on.
Of you to be addressing a fear of flying too. And we'll make sure that there is information on the Sydney Phobia Clinic on our website too.
All right, coming up.